I became financially free before I was 21 years old. No rich parents, no handouts, no trust fund, no luck whatsoever. And I'm about to explain the 5 things and the paradox attached to each one that is the reason I am where I am. It's the first video I've ever made. I'm about to just start yapping on here. All right, so I'm gonna get straight to it. The biggest thing with success, me personally, is delusion. Being genuinely delusional. I made a video short form about this a while ago, but when I talk to my parents, I talk to my family, I talk to anybody around me, my friends, people in my life, teachers when I was a kid, and I tell them my goals, I tell them my dreams, I tell them my aspirations, the things I want to do. If they believe in me, if they think I can do it, I'm not shooting far enough. I need to be so delusional that it genuinely seems impossible. And there's a reason behind this, okay? If you go listen to any billionaire talk about delusion in general, they'll tell you that that is their key to success. It's only delusional until it works. The outcome is what determines the delusional aspect. You're only delusional until you're a genius because it all came through. You just have to be willing to look stupid enough for long enough until your delusion becomes a reality. That's it. The idea of a delusional mindset and delusional lifestyle, it comes from like okay, new things, right? When they're found or research, okay, it exists because there's there's things found already about that. If you're doing something that nobody else has done before, you have dreams of doing things that nobody's done before, there's not going to be evidence or research that that can be done. Therefore, it's going to look impossible until it's done. Does that make sense? Just do it. So the paradox, though, is that the exact same trait can cause you to essentially spiral into like psychological cycle of failure, viciously believing that no matter what, you are going to succeed in every single thing, and you don't put any real effort into it because you think that it's all just going to work out. That's not how it works. You have to have a delusional work ethic, a delusional mindset where you don't stop no matter what. Does that make sense? Like you have to bet on yourself harder than anything else. I have a saying: have no fallback plan so you can't fall back. A lot of people think that that's moving too risky. And I say, well, if you're not willing to bet on yourself with that risk, then do you believe in yourself at all? And if you don't, how can you expect somebody else to in any aspect? Does that make sense? Delusion with no work, it's just a daydream. You have to be doing it. That's why I say just being la-di-da-di-da about your beliefs is never going to do anything. You have to be delusionally putting in that work every day. It's going to look delusional to the people around you, right? On paper, it's going to be insane, whatever you think it is or whatever it is. But if it works, it's not insane. It's what worked. It's what made you who you are and what you are. I have plenty of examples of that in my life. Dude, when I was 17 years old, I put all of my money, which was like 40 grand at the time, into Dogecoin. Like, and if you knew what Dogecoin was early, before it was even a penny, like everybody in my life told me that, because that was all my money at the time. Like that was everything I had built up into that point, which was a lot. It was like 3.5 years of nonstop working. And I put it all into that. Everybody told me I was insane. And there was a piece of me that, you know what I mean? But it worked. It worked. I was able to take that and move it, take my profits, pull out 2 years, move that into real estate, and actually pull hard money loans and start flipping houses. And that's how I got into that. My point is, it was delusional. You know what I'm saying? I was a 17-year-old. I knew nothing about crypto. I made a little bit of money in Bitcoin a year prior, like just really getting lucky with that, I'm being honest. And when I say little, I made like 3 grand. You know what I mean? Like it was not anything significant to me at the time. It was, you know what I'm saying? Perception is everything. Regardless. With that delusion came consistency, right? Because for the last 3-4 years, I had been consistently delusional working towards my goals, no matter what they were at the time. Goals always shifting, always changing, because I was always moving towards something else. Like that was my biggest thing is, and this is the problem with me today, is it doesn't matter what I do or what I achieve or how far I go, because there's going to be another goal, because there's going to be another thing to do, another thing to achieve. Does that make sense? There is no finish line with this, right? It's a cliche of like, oh, the journey, the destination is the journey. I mean, they're not wrong in the sense, right? Obviously, you get fulfillment out of achieving your goals, but doing it is where it all comes from, because that's the majority of it. You'll spend 10 years doing it and then achieve it in one day. Does that make sense? And so it's not like that one day isn't where it all, is just amazing. There's points in time in that 10 years that are When you feel yourself moving, you feel yourself getting there, that's what makes you want to push that consistency further, right? Consistency is what you do after that feeling that you get at 3 a.m. where you want to go and watch a bunch of YouTube videos and start this and start that and call your homeboy and want to start a business and learn how to build websites and do wholesale and sell insurance and go drop shipping and do this and make TikTok shopping. Do something original. That's a whole nother video topic. Be valuable, create value, do something original. Period. That's it. All right. As far as the consistency goes, the motivation that I was just saying from 3 a.m., that'll get you to day 3. The consistency is getting you to day 300, getting you to day 3,000. When you only see the same results, it's boring. There's not a huge payoff during it. And that's the whole point, is being able to just keep going without seeing the big win. You know what I mean? The paradox with consistency is it feels like you're standing still. No matter what, you could always be moving. Same thing's happening every day. Nothing's changing. So even if your life is jumping around, it feels like the only thing actually moving is you through these monotonous days. And, they feel pointless when you're doing the same work over and over. And that's usually when everybody around you quits. I say this all the time. The 99 or the 1% aren't the 1% because they're special. Yeah, there's Nepo babies, but the 1% of the 1% because 99% of people won't do the work. That's it. If you just keep doing it and keep going with a good idea, it's going to work. I promise. If you're actually providing value, right? People see me now at 21 and say, oh my God, he got lucky. He must have rich parents. He must have did this. He must have did that. When in reality, they don't see the 8 years, sweat, grind, tears that I put into everything that I've done to get where I am today. Nobody sees that except for the people who were there with me, and there's not a lot of those. I have a very small, inner circle, you know what I'm saying? I hang out with 3 people, maybe. That's another thing that comes with all this is dude, I don't have friends. I don't have a social life. Everybody, once I started getting any type of money, everybody around me knew that, and so they were just wanting to get around me so they could use me for what I have. There was no real relationships with friends, with women, with anybody. It was always transactional. It was always usury. It was always, what can I get out of this person? It makes life hollow. You know what I'm saying? When your complete focus is money. And so even with consistency and delusion, all of that is useless without something steady and firm underneath it that doesn't matter or doesn't care about where you are and what you're doing. And that's the one thing that gets misunderstood the most with succeeding and with having any journey in life. And a lot of people aren't going to like this. I don't care, but this is the reality. This is my truth. This is how I got here. The answer is God. The third thing is God. I would be dead, in prison, in jail, on drugs, on the streets, homeless, dead 10 times over if it was not for Jesus Christ. It's that simple. Now you can say whatever you want. That's a whole nother video as far as the deepness into religion, right? I don't believe it's not religion. I'm not religious like that in the sense of all farther. No, I'm a non-denominational Christian. I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. I believe every word in the Bible. Right? Boom. Next. Okay. My point is building and cultivating that relationship with God is going to be the thing that saves you mentally through this journey. Does that make sense? It's people ask me how, right? Jesus is how. It's not a corny hashtag. That's the real answer. I would not be here because I've lost so much, and before I found God, I valued my self-worth based upon my achievements and what I was doing and my status and my wealth, and which wasn't much. And so anytime I failed, I felt like a failure. And as far as how I really, I've always been, had the Holy Spirit around me, right, in my life. But as far as how the night that I knew that there was no other truth except Jesus, it's a very long story. I was 14 years old. I essentially, bro, for the long story short, I was possessed. I was tweaking out. My granddad came in the room, put his hand on my heart, said, "In the name of Jesus Christ, whatever's going on with my grandson, stop." I projectile vomited, wall to wall, floor, ceiling, everywhere. Started jumping up and down, roof banging in the head banging in the roof. Called the paramedics. Police came. I tweaked out when I saw the cops. They tased me twice. When I was being tased, I was on the floor, and I remember it felt like I pulled a lever to death, and there was angels around me saying, "Look, Elijah, you did it. You made it. You're here." Da, 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 da. I thought I went to heaven, and then he tased me the second time, and then they changed. "Look, Elijah, you did it. You're here. Look. You are the reason you're here. Look where you are." And then it all went red. The angels were demons, and I was in hell. And I realized I was in hell forever and ever. Not 10 years, not 100 years. when you go to hell, it's hell forever, right? The idea of hell is eternal. Us as human beings living in a finite world can't even fathom the idea of an infinite, eternal place, right? It's not this evil, like physical. Of course, it's evil. It's not this physical whipping, torturing, beating. No, it's every single worst, like psychological nightmare that you could ever even begin to fathom, and 100 times worse than that. Like making you believe that you're opening Christmas presents at 7 years old with your family on Christmas morning, and then freaking the worst possible things happen. People come in and do horrible things to your family in front of you, and then you remember your whole life and all of it's gone, and you wake up in hell and horrible things happen. I don't know. We can't fathom it. It says in the Bible we couldn't even understand or begin to believe how bad it is. My point is, I felt that. I felt there. I felt what it was like to know that it was forever. Not 10 years, not 100 years, forever. Eternally. I had that like feeling for a split second, right? I woke up and I was not rocking with that at all. I didn't even remember what happened for like 6 months to a year. It all came back to me very slowly. It was a very traumatic experience. Like I said, I have a whole video on that one day. But there was a lot more experiences that have led up to my solidified and firm belief in Jesus. But it's so many different things. Like I could really make a whole 20 video series talking about why, how, and so many reasons as to. But it boils down to faith isn't what gets you success. It's what keeps success from owning you and failure from ending you. When your identity is your results, like I was saying, every bad week is an existential crisis, and every good week makes you a god in your own eyes. Like these people who think they're their own god and, I make my reality. Do you know what the centerpiece logo for Satanism is? Aleister Crowley, do as thou will. Like, it's because Satan isn't necessarily like trying to push evil and horrible things upon you. It gets to that, but it's about just what's the word? Lusting within one's own flesh. You know what I'm saying? Like giving into your eternal, like humanly dirty desires in every aspect, whatever that may be for you, right? Do as thou will. And so these people that, I'm my own God, I create my own reality. Yeah, sure, buddy. We'll see how far you get with that, right? And maybe not in this reality. You might get really far, but let's see what happens in the next one. I could go broke, lose everything I got right now as long as I know I'm good with the Lord. You could never make me denounce Jesus, right? And it's because when you make yourself a god, that's what destroys you, because you aren't. You know what I'm saying? We are humans. That's it. We have the Holy Spirit within us, and we can do great things through God, but we aren't gods. Like if you have God behind you, you can do anything. Believing you are God, you can't. It's like I said, it's a sore subject for some people. I'll get very deep into that later, but like. It's not the version of God where, you pray and Jesus drops money from the sky and, please, there's a slot machine with a cross. Like, no, people who put religion and money together, it's not good at all. Like, that's what puts a lot of people away from religion, is seeing how super churches and mega churches act and whatnot. My whole point is cultivate your own personal relationship with Jesus, and I promise you will get so much further in life in every aspect. And I'm not talking finance, I'm just talking personal growth, period. And that relates to finance because you're growing. Like, how do I say this? I've lost everything I've had multiple times. There's literally a poster behind you that says 3 separate 100K losses could have bought me a Benz. I got that when I was 17. When I was about to turn 18, I lost $680,000 in one day. Lost over $1 million before I turned 18, like well over $1 million, probably almost 2 before I turned 18 years old. And I'll make multiple different videos about all those different situations. The reason I'm bringing this up is because without God, I would have killed myself. And without that little guy right there, the little kitty cat, without them, probably would have ended it all. Just being honest, that's the truth, okay? But what these things taught me, losing it all, losing everything I've had, all the time that I spent, it taught me that if I could do it once, I could do it again. It taught me that I am a real hustler indeed in every aspect, whatever that may mean for me, right? You don't know who you are you don't know what you as a person are built on until it's all stripped away and taken from you. And you are put in a very, very uncomfortable position that you are not ready for at all. And see what you're made of. That's what life is. That's what becoming a man is. You know what I'm saying? Like, And it's not about the money at all. It's a lot of, for the feelings, for me, it was about the time. Feeling like the time I just spent these last 3-4 years, it's all gone. Not about the money. I know I can make it back, but it's the time, because I lost plenty of money before, but not that much all at once. You know what I'm saying? It was the time. It was the like taking every ounce of ego and pride out of you. And I mean, I will say pride comes before the fall. I was being prideful in the way I was living up into that moment. You know what I mean? Which segues into the next one, which is ego. You have to drop the ego and learn how to regulate your emotions, right? If I didn't have emotional regulation, once again, I would have probably, when I lost everything, you know what I mean? The paradox with losing everything is that the thing that you're most afraid of, which is like losing the control over you and your life, you can only break that by losing the control and then discovering that you survived and everything's okay. Once you let go and you realize, wait a minute, God's in control, everything's going to be all right, it's going to work out. You somehow, I know it sounds backwards, but you get a sense of confidence that you know, back to the delusion, anything is possible. If I can lose almost $1 million before 18 and then make it all back and then lose it all again and make it all back, I can do anything. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can do anything. I'm not special. I don't have rich parents. I'm not this, like I'm just like you. I'm just a normal person who just wants to do things and build a future, build a life, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm going back and forth, but between everything that I've lost, now I'm in a point mentally where I know that loss is a part of the game. And this is a big thing that I've noticed as far as a pattern. For me personally, I'll get up, about to get to the next level, boom, lose it all. And get up, go to that next level. Now I'm about to get to the top of that next level, boom, lose it all. And then get, next. About to go to the next one, and then boom, lose it all. So it's like taking steps. It's like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. You know what I'm saying? Over and over, but no matter what, you always get that one extra step. It's just about how long are you willing to do it? How many times are you willing to lose it? How many times are you willing to risk that failure to have to do it all again just to have the chance at 10xing it, one day? Back to the delusion, back to the consistency, back to God and having faith in knowing that He has a plan for you. There's been many times where I've been in situations where I've had to pay bills, invoices, debts, this and that, have 24 hours left to figure it out, and I'm $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 short, and I have no idea how it's going to happen, and then somehow I get a call from this person, I get a call from that person, this guy fulfills his order, this guy fulfills an invoice, and everything works out every single time. I've never had to like genuinely, like, I can't eat at night. Like, I will say, when I was a kid, I went and stole things. I had a problem. I figured that out, went and worked for it. My point is, if you're going and working for it, God will always provide. You will never enjoy ill-gotten gains. If you just put your trust in the Lord, He'll make sure you're okay. It's that simple, at least for me and everything that I've seen in my experience, right? And the whole point is, where I am now is proof of everything that I'm saying being full truth, or foolproof, at least for me, right? Once you lose it all and you survive that, the last thing that can stop you is you, because you know that nothing will stop you. When it comes to the ego, this is where I see a lot of people mess up, because you have to stay humble. You have to control your emotions. Confidence is knowing what you can do. Ego is needing everybody else around you to know it too, right? Ego is the most dangerous thing after a win, because it whispers that the rules bent for you and that you're special and that you're the one that everything manifested around, and you manifested this with your mind, and you're this and you're that. And like, the more you win, the bigger it builds, and it hurts itself. It's like a vicious cycle, because like I said, pride becomes before the fall. As soon as you let this ego build up in your mind, that's when it'll all be taken away from you. As soon as you think you're that guy and you're the one doing it all, and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's possible because you're him, that's when God reminds you, no, buddy. No, like, you know what I'm saying? And the paradox with the ego is, it's very hard for people, especially the successful ones, because the success that you work for manufactures the ego that can destroy you. The reward for getting good is being handed the one thing that's most likely to make you bad. So learning to control that early Learning to control your ego in an early stage in business or in finance or in life. Oh my goodness, I can't explain how much of a help this is. I still have to check my ego from time to time in any situation when I have to realize, hold on, wait a minute, we're all just people here. Nothing about anything makes me better than you unless you show and act on me to give me reason to believe that, right? And it's not even about me being better, it's about you being worse. Does that make sense? Like, if somebody does something like, if I'm in an argument with somebody and they punch me in the face because they're mad about being wrong, right? That doesn't make me a better person. That makes them a worse one. That makes sense? A big thing too is when it comes to partnering and building with other people, having an ego will destroy you. If I had an ego, or my co-founder Tanner had an ego, him and I wouldn't work together at all. We are able to completely drop our egos and work together and hear each other out because we both know, I know that he's a genius. He knows that I have things to offer and add that are valuable and helpful to the program, so he's going to hear me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we had an ego, we would never work. Because then I would think I'm the best or the smartest and I don't need no help. And he would think the same thing. You have no idea how many people I've been around, how many people I've tried to network with. Hey man, I do this, I do that. What's up? My name is Elijah. Oh yeah, you look pretty young, man. I've been in this game for longer than you've been alive. But you don't even know how to spell Claude. You don't know what an MD file is. You don't know what skills are. You don't know anything about AI. But yet you're talking about integrating ChatGPT into your business, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna watch your stocks fall if you're in a publicly traded company. Like, what are we talking about? Thinking that you know everything about anything, it's never gonna get you anywhere because there's always somebody that knows more, and it's usually the last person that you expect. In my experience, I've been wowed by many people younger than me when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? And it's my ability to drop my ego and say, okay, what could this person offer me? Does this person have any valuable information? That's what, you know what I'm saying, makes a difference. Here's the thing that I haven't said. None of these are the secret, right? The secret is only if you do them all in tandem in that order, essentially. God before really everything else is the foundation. But you need to be able to have that delusion immediately. And then you need to build consistently off that delusion through God. And then you need to learn, well, if I have to lose everything, I can, right? And that helps building the droppage of the ego, which all together in tandem gives you the ability to build a insane network and like mental space to be able to do anything, I guess. Like, I say that in the sense of like anything could happen to me today, tomorrow, and it's not going to knock me off my pivot. I'm still going to get work done. I'm still going to get paid. I'm still going to make sure everything's all right. I'm still going to keep building, growing. Nothing is going to knock me off and put me in this depressive hole of self-sabotage and, you know what I'm saying, where I'm hurting what I'm doing or anything like that. I'm always going to continue to grow, even when bad things happen, and bad things happen all the time. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, the fourth thing, losing it all, is very important to go through, because that teaches you that shit ain't fair. Life ain't fair. Things happen. It's part of it. You're going to go through losses. You're going to go through failures. There's going to be people around you that mess up, and it causes things for you that you have to deal with. And you have to learn to deal with that and control your emotions and control your ego and not cut these ties with these people just because they made a minor mistake that everybody's made at a point in time, because it affected you in a negative way that you didn't see yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, just wait until somebody else that you believed in causes you a 5-figure loss. You know what I'm saying? That'll have you looking at them very differently and wanting to be emotional towards them. Knowing how to control that, knowing how to talk to people, knowing how to delegate, knowing how to be a boss, knowing how to run a business. These are all things that, having this delusional consistency through God and knowing how to regulate your emotion and ego, they all, like I said, work in tandem with each other together to be able to build the mindset that is of somebody and something that can do anything and become financially free doing whatever they want to do. I guess I'm just rambling and yapping. That's kind of like what I do. If you didn't come from my Instagram, that's where I started. I started making content about 6 months ago. We made it up to 100K followers, all natural, all organic, no meta ads, no paid promos, no collaborations, no this, no that. Literally just going on there, being consistent, being delusional, knowing it'll work. I know people from my hometown probably laughed at me. People I grew up with probably clown me. I could care less, because I know at the end of the day where I'm at, where they are, where I'm going to be, where they're going to be. and that might sound egotistical, but I mean that in an objective manner. Like in the sense of, okay, 5 years ago, this people that were laughing are at the same dead end job they're at today. 5 years ago, I was where I am versus where I am today. It's like, okay, keep laughing. I don't care. I'm never gonna, how do I say it? I'm not gonna worry about somebody who's not in a better position than me. You know what I'm saying? But there's nobody who's doing better than you who's ever gonna be hating on you. Why would you worry about somebody who isn't in your shoes and has never been judging how you're walking in them? That makes no sense. Why would I let somebody who's never held $10,000 tell me what I should be doing or how I'm stupid for losing $1 million? What type of sense does that make? That's why I find it funny when I watch the internet get people out of character when it's like, dude, they're literally internet trolls. It's the whole point of it. Oh yeah, I got it off track. If you don't know, Instagram at Elijah AIFL. I don't even know what I do anymore at this point. At first, I was making content trying to like show off the software, and because I make apps, or I don't even make the apps, but I like showcase the apps that we make, me and my co-founder Tanner Carlson, and then I started like showcasing how we're doing it, showing the different AI tools and techs and strategies. Then I just started doing life stuff. Then I started doing kind of like just like more financially skewed and geared content, and then just documenting and building. But I don't really know what we do anymore. It's kind of everything. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, some sprinkles, some spice, a little bit of everything nice. Check it out. Shoot me a follow. You should follow me here because I'm gonna be doing this more. And I got a lot of stories. I got a lot of things to say. Got a lot of decent information. I'm just trying to put it out there and document everything. Build a network of like-minded individuals that are all trying to grow and progress towards something valuable. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to build. I'm just trying to meet people that are doing the same things as me and have the same delusionally consistent mindset under God, and they know what it's like to lose it all, and they don't have an ego, and they're trying to build. That's it. Just trying to find people like that. If that's you, hit me up. Business email is elijah@claritydigital.dev. Let me know. I think anything else I should say? I mean, the biggest thing is if you would have went back to that dumb kid selling shoes, betting on Dogecoin 6 years ago, and you would have shown him what I am and what we do today, all I can say is just do it. Just get up and do it. Just, if you have an idea, just do it. Like, if I would have just not did it and started today, dude, you know how pissed I'd be? Hold on. You know how unmotivated I'd be to do it today if I realized today that I could have done it for the last 5 years? And you know that's only going to get worse and continue to compound? Like, just do it. If you got an idea, why are you not doing it? Genuinely. If it's a valuable idea, if you have something that you think that you can make money off of, if you have something that you think will change your life, why are you not doing it? Why? Like I said, I started making content 6 months ago. I never did it before. We're at 100K now, all natural, just from trying to add value. I'm about to take this YouTube thing and take off with it and blow up with it by just some streaming this, then the third. Even if we don't go to a billion, gajillion, which we're going to at least get 1 million followers before the end of the year on all platforms, or before a year is done on all platforms. That's a guarantee. Call me delusional. Watch me do it. I told everybody I was going to get an RS7 last year, and they were like, oh, and I have an RS7 now. It's a 150 exclusive, Audi exclusive spec, titanium, acapulco exhaust. I love it to death. I make music. Distro baby. S is a money sign. It's a sign we've been getting money. You know what I'm saying? All platforms. Check it out. If you need jewelry, if you need software, if you need houses, if you need brand scaling, marketing, advertisement, credit repair, China plug, like for suppliers for, jewelry or like manufacturers for furniture, for like anything out there, plug in with the Chinaman. Not that Chinaman. Don't get it twisted. I think that's about it. Follow me, like this video. Appreciate you for watching. If you made it this whole way, just, comment the word calendar. Yeah, comment the word calendar. If you made it this far, I might like send you $1. Honestly, if you made it this far in the video, like what 33 minutes? If you actually watched the entire 33-minute video, I'm gonna follow you back. I don't even follow nobody. I've actually been unfollowing everybody so I can like be all Hollywood on Instagram and whatnot. But I'll do something special. If you watch all the way to Say Calendar, I'm gonna do something special. I like be safe, be blessed, be smart, all that. Follow, turn on the notifications. I'm gonna start doing this long form thing on a regular basis. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed one.